CBS News senior national security contributor Michael Morell was a deputy director and acting director of the CIA. During the campaign, he supported Hillary Clinton for president. He is with us now from Washington. Michael, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
We know it is not unusual to collect opposition research. We know on this case, though, that this was a lawyer who claimed to be or claimed to have some connection with the Russian government. What's the significance from a national security perspective?
Charlie, I think it is highly inappropriate for an American campaign to meet with a foreign official, whether that foreign official is connected to a government or not, because it allows a foreign national to potentially influence the outcome of an election. So the meeting should never have happened. That's one issue. The second issue is that this is the second time, multiple times now, where Jared Kushner has not reported a meeting with a foreign official on his form to get a security clearance. Was that a mistake or was that intentional? And then third, I'd say that there was no collusion that happened in this meeting. But the fact that they were willing to do the meeting suggests to me that a willingness to collude, and that's what Bob Mueller is going to have to dig into.
Is it illegal?
I'm not a lawyer. I don't think it's illegal, but it certainly shows a willingness to collude.
Senator McCain said, we just heard him say, it's time to move forward with the Russian election meddling, but there should be a price to pay. Mike, do you agree with that statement? And if so, what is the price that should be paid?
Yeah, so my biggest concern in the Trump-Putin meeting was a willingness to move forward without any accounting for what the Russians did. It is very important that Putin pay a price for what he did so that it will deter him going forward. I think that's what Senator McCain was talking about, and I agree with him completely. There's got to be deterrence going forward so that Putin does not do this again.
But what's that price? What is it?
So I think the price is what the U.S. Senate has now passed overwhelmingly, which is additional sanctions on Russia. The Trump White House opposes those additional sanctions, but I think that's what's required to get Putin's attention.
I want to turn to ISIS, too, because we know that Iraqi troops are celebrating in Mosul this morning. Their government says it has reclaimed Iraq's second largest city from ISIS. We saw these soldiers waving Iraqi flags and then holding the ISIS flag essentially upside down. We know there's some pockets of resistance that remain, but Iraq's prime minister was seen walking through the streets this morning. They took control over the cities. It was been control of ISIS for 3 years. What's the significance, do you think, Mike?
So I think it is significant that we have regained Mosul. This was the big symbolic victory, you'll remember, for ISIS when they took it. But nobody should think that this fight is over. Eliminating the caliphate does not mean victory for us. The fight will go on. They will become a terrorist group, an insurgent group. There are still thousands of them in Iraq. They will have to be rooted out. And importantly, the political situation in Iraq is going to need to be resolved. The Sunnis are going to have a sense of ownership in the future of their country, or they're going to continue to support extremist groups. And also, the Baghdad government is now going to have to face the Kurds, who are interested in independence. So the political part of this is going to get much harder in the months ahead.
All right, Michael Morell.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.